Tell us, is it hard to learn how to drive this vehicle?
It's really simple. Everything's like a regular car, except instead of a steering wheel, there are levers. It's got 8 gears, 4 low and 4 high.
Is it fast in reverse?
Well, it also has a low and high reverse. 2 reverse gears. The guys learn to drive it really quickly. You just sit down and go.
Right now, I'm driving a vehicle that, before coming to Ukraine, had only ever been in service with one country in the world, Sweden. This is the Pansarbandvagn. And right now, we're in a city where the ground forces are training crews to operate it. Can I switch to third gear?
You can. But hold this lever. Clutch and to the left, then pull it toward yourself.
So I already messed that up, right?
It's fine. We'll get moving. Just give it a little more gas.
Well, my impressions? I'm shaking all over. This is unreal. It's my first time ever driving something with levers. And plus, with a manual gearbox. During the ride, I switched from second to third, but you really need more experience. Instructor, what grade would you give me?
Let's say a solid C. You need to learn how to handle turning, using the levers properly. Because here it's not like turning a wheel and the vehicle turns. You need to rev it a bit, but it all comes with time. Here we've got a Swedish-made APC, the PBV 302A. PBV stands for Pansarbandvagn 302, which translates as Armored Tracked Vehicle. Since Sweden announced an aid package, they're returning every one of these they had to us. It's a tracked vehicle, and it's actually pretty solid. In terms of mobility, it's almost on par with a BMP, infantry fighting vehicle. It might even perform better in some conditions. When I was driving behind one in a BMP during training, I didn't try to avoid deep puddles or mud. On the contrary, I looked for the worst conditions to test its off-road ability. And this machine, in my opinion, did excellent. I didn't even use first or second gear. It powered through everything in third and fourth. Any puddle, any incline with mud, it handled it perfectly.
The Swedes had a choice: adopt the American M113 or design something of their own. They decided to make their own because the M113 was more expensive to produce, had weaker armament, and its ramp took longer to open than the Swedes liked.
For example, these rear doors have 2 locking positions. For standard, non-urgent closing, we shut them like this. But if we need to close them quickly, we kick down a special leg and slam the door shut. We don't need any handles or anything. They don't lock tight, but they come off very quickly when needed. The troop compartment has 8 seats for soldiers. 8 seats and also space where troops can store their weapons, extra ammunition, or food supplies they take with them. If we need to evacuate more than 4 wounded soldiers lying down, all this gets disassembled. Everything comes off. The attachments on the seats are unhooked, and we can place 2 patients on the upper level and 2 on the lower. What else do we have here? We have combat hatches for the troops that open hydraulically from the commander's station.
I'm sitting at the commander's seat right now. Honestly, there's nothing exciting here. Because when they built this vehicle, the commander's job was to blend in with the infantry. He was the commander of the troop section. And apart from opening the hatches for the troop compartment using the radio and having 360-degree visibility, there's not much here.
These are the troop hatches in the open position.
These ones?
Yes, but to use them, there's a little spring between the levers.
I'm now opening the troop compartment hatches. Sorry. When they were designing this vehicle, there was a requirement. The crew had to be able to fire without leaving the vehicle. That's why they developed these hatches that open from the commander's position. In today's world, I'm not sure how useful that is anymore, with so many drones. But back then, it was necessary.
I started in the infantry and got wounded. We ran into Russian IFVs and light tanks. They were pulling all kinds of stunts. I really wanted to show them that we know a few tricks too. The commander asked if I wanted to become a driver. So I said yes. As they say, knowledge is never a burden. I try to learn absolutely everything, even stuff that may never come in handy. I still want to know it. You never know. The engine maintenance setup is very well designed. It's located right under the panel where you're sitting. The panel comes off by unscrewing 3 bolts here. If we need to access pipes, sensors, filters, or bleed air from the system, we can do it all without leaving the vehicle. Right from the commander's spot. Compared to the BMP, where you basically had to take apart half the engine just to remove the starter. Here, everything's accessible. Super convenient. This PBV is softer, smoother. In the BMP, if the transmission jammed, you really had to wrestle with it to unstick the gear. But this is the opposite. It's just like driving a regular car.
How old are you?
21. Well, I turned 20 while I was deployed, near the border with Britain.
Any regrets?
I ended up in a great unit with a great team. One for all and all for one. And I landed in the exact profession I wanted. Maybe I'd be a terrible assault trooper, I think so. But as a driver, I've tried the BMP. Now, I've gotten to work with the Swedish vehicle. No regrets. I want experience in everything. I'll get to tanks soon too. Our training process goes like this. We practice certain drills. Today, for example, we're doing an exercise crossing natural obstacles to see how the vehicle handles it and test its feel. Here's the driver's position. The controls use levers. Manual transmission, gas pedal, brake, clutch, and handbrake. The max speed on the speedometer is 80 kilometers per hour. But we're advised not to exceed 60 kilometers per hour. Another neat Swedish feature, you can tighten or loosen the tracks from the driver's cab. Depending on where we're going, we can either tighten the tracks or loosen them, depending on the terrain we're entering. We've logged quite a few miles at the training base, and the tracks never once came off. Compared to our BMP, it's really hard to throw a track off this thing. Also, this vehicle has an external warning lamp. If something's wrong, that light comes on, if it's overheating or some other failure occurs.
So it's like a check engine light in modern cars?
Yeah, exactly like a check light in a modern vehicle.
And that's the test lamp that's on, the check light. Is that normal?
This one?
No, the check.
It's on now because the compressor is building pressure. Once it's done, the light will go off.
I'm now sitting in the gunner's seat. And next to me, in the driver's seat, is Kuba. And in the commander's seat, we've got the instructor, who'll step in and guide Kuba if needed. You just finished the course. How was it?
Pretty awesome.
What are you feeling?
First of all, adrenaline. We got a little muddy in the swamp. All good.
You didn't break it all. I saw the stop sign. You just blew right past it.
Yeah, I checked with the instructor on that. That's actually the point of the drill. We're not paying attention to road signs. These are natural obstacles in the field, right? Yeah, today is different. Yesterday we had stop signs, and we did stop. We start with technical training, then simulator training. Only after that do we let them near the vehicle. The soldier has to get used to the controls, the startup procedures, how to prep the vehicle and start the engine. Only then do they move on to hands-on driving. This group already has driving experience. They've seen combat. It's a pleasure to train them. They're motivated and eager to learn. And honestly, they're doing great.
We've seen how they train the drivers. Now it's time for the gunners. This is the tent where soldiers study theory and learn how to maintain the gun.
The most important thing we teach our cadets is to respect their weapon. If you maintain it and clean it properly, it won't let you down in combat.
What are you doing now?
I'm disassembling the gun.
You do this after every firing, right?
Yep, to clean it.
How many times have you taken apart the receiver?
A lot. They let us practice enough to get it into our muscle memory so we don't forget anything. Receivers back together.
Was it hard?
Nah. Our instructor explains everything really clearly. So far, we're handling it fine.
This is an aircraft gun. Very high rate of fire. But we feed it with magazines. Ours is a triple stack mag. Holds 30 rounds. It's critical that cadets know how to strip and service them, because that's your ammo feed. No rounds in the gun equals no shooting. No shooting, you're a sitting duck.
What's happening here?
We're loading the mags now and heading to the task.
Key point, you've got to lube them up well to avoid jams. Press again. Insert another round. Lift. Push it in.
The instructor just showed me, and I want to try loading a mag too. Press the loader, insert the round, lift it, push. First round's in. It's important to fully seat every round when loading. I made a mistake. I didn't push one all the way in and missed it. So when I loaded the next two, I had to unload them again just to fix the first one. Lift. Thanks to this tool and the included loader and under the instructor's watch, got it done. We loaded 15 rounds. With a bit of practice, you can do it automatically.
For a gunner, everything starts with the troop compartment. That's where we first load the ammo. These magazines we just packed, we pass them into the troop bay. Then we climb up. Gunner has his own station, and with the fire control systems, I'm ready to aim and fire. To rotate the turret, I squeeze the trigger and start turning. If I get a command, like enemy at 9 o'clock, I've got a pedal that lets me swing the turret quickly. Then I line up and fire on command. This is a high rate of fire gun, 8 rounds per second. There's also an anti-aircraft sight here on the turret. We can engage low-flying targets up to 2 kilometers. But I'd have to be on top of the turret. Scanning for targets.
The gun's serviced and loaded, time to fire. What did you think?
Good gun, easy to use.
And the emotions. What do you feel?
Definitely a rush of adrenaline.
We placed the far target at 900 meters and the close one at around 600 meters. I can see from here, he was hitting pretty well. The only issue, the first vehicle's gunner took a long time to find the target. That lowered his score, but it's their first time firing this weapon. First time on this gun, on this vehicle.
Today, the cadets are each firing 15 single shots. In the next exercises, after correcting mistakes, they'll fire in bursts.
Every cadet has to try everything hands-on. How the turret turns, how to use the sights, how the reticle looks, how to load the mag into the gun, and so on. We first go over every step in theory, then do it in practice. I actually like when we get some malfunctions during training. It gives us a chance to fix them on the spot. Something breaks, something's off, we handle it right here. That way our cadets learn to deal with it now, not on the battlefield. So when something goes wrong later, they'll fix it on instinct. That could save their health and their lives. That's the key.
So, let's wrap up. Ukraine has received Swedish PBV 302 armored personnel carriers. The Army is training both gunners and drivers for these vehicles. The guys are learning both theory and practice, so when they go into combat, they'll be ready. Thanks for watching. Stay in touch. Did you like this video? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow.